Oh, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about dynamic search ads. So, what are dynamic search ads? How do they work? How can you implement them? And SOPs for how to actually use them within your campaign. And that is everything we're going to be talking about today. So let's get straight into it. So, dynamic search ads in Google Ads are a powerful tool that allows advertisers to automatically match their ads to relevant searches without having to manually create keywords, ad text, or landing pages for each search. This function leverages Google's web crawling technology to dynamically generate ads based on the content of your website. And here is an in depth look at how dynamic search ads work and how you can use them effectively. So dynamic search ads are a pretty powerful tool. It's essentially just plug and play within Google. They basically do everything for you and they generate tailored ads towards your specific customer and what they search for specifically. I wouldn't rely on it. I do my own keyword research, do my own negative keywords, create my own ad copy. But these can be used very, very effectively within a campaign, but I wouldn't rely on them holistically. So, how do dynamic search ads work? So, first would be web indexing. So, Google looks through your website to understand the structure and content. It creates a list of keywords based on what it finds. Next would be ad creation. So when someone searches for something that matches the content on your site, Google makes an ad for you. It uses words from the search and your website to create a headline. The description and display URL come from your preset ad text and site. So essentially, Google is doing most of the heavy lifting in this sense. They do everything for you and they tailor it towards the specific customer and what they search for. So once again, I wouldn't rely on it because it relies heavily on Google's automations. And usually Google is getting much better, but I'd still rely on a PPC expert or you doing it yourself. But this can be used very effectively within a campaign. Next will be landing page selection. So Google picks the most relevant landing page on your website based on the user's search. So, next thing we're going to go into is key components of dynamic search ads, and this is just what dynamic search ads are composed of. So, domain and language. You need to tell Google the domain of your website and the language of your site content. Next will be the targeting options that you can pick for your DSAs. So, you got all web pages, so target all web pages on your website, specific categories, so it targets certain sections or categories on your site, page feeds, so you can provide a list of URLs to be used in your DSAs. This is useful for promoting specific products or services, and specific URLs or URL contains. So target specific URLs or pages that have certain words in the URL. So this gives you a little bit of essentially autonomy to play with within the DSAs, because if you just go into it with all web pages, then you're just letting Google run free on what ads they can show. But if you have, say, a sale on or something, such as like a Christmas sale, and you have a specific landing page just for your Christmas sale, then you could just do a DSA for that and leave everything untouched for the time being. So number three would be ad text. So you set the description lines for your DSAs, and these should be general enough to apply to many queries, but interesting enough to get clicks. And this is where copywriting comes into play. So you don't want it to be super like on the nose of like a one specific product on your page, but you also don't want it to be too vague to where essentially you're just speaking techno babble to random people and it's not going to get any clicks and they're not going to click on it because they're not intrigued whatsoever and they have no idea what you're talking about. So make sure it's specific enough to where people will click on it, but it's vague enough to where it can apply to many areas of your website. So the next thing would be the benefits of using dynamic search ads. So it saves time, obviously, because you don't have to do any of the keyword research. You don't have to put any of the, essentially, you don't have to make the ad copy yourself. All you have to do is have a landing page, and you probably should have a landing page anyway if you're an e-commerce brand or you're running Google ads. And all you have to do is tell it what ads you want it running, and it basically does everything for you. So the next thing you have is improved coverage. So DSAs can capture more traffic by showing your ads for relevant searches you might not have thought of. So it's essentially Google is probably smarter than you and they probably know who your customer base is better than you. So it can show it to traffic that you might not even thought of because you're just a person and it is a giant supercomputer. Don't worry, it's not as smart. I'm not as smart as it either, so I use it sometimes as well. But the next thing will be relevant ad copy. So since headlines are created based on the user's search and your site content, the ads are very relevant and more likely to get clicks. Next will be automatic updates. So as your website content changes, DSAs automatically update, keeping your ads relevant, which is really, really good. And the next thing would be SOP. So this is standard operating practices for dynamic search ads. So you could optimize your website content. So you want to make sure your content is well organized and clear. So this helps Google understand your site better and create more relevant ads. You should be doing this anyway, regardless of if you're running dynamic search ads. You should have a very, very good landing page that is clear, concise, has a lot of CTAs, and it provides a lot of value to the customer. So, next thing would be to use negative keywords. So, add negative keywords to stop your ads from showing for searches that aren't relevant to your business. This helps control costs and improve ad relevance. So, this you should be doing this if you're running ads anyway, even if you're not doing DSAs, if you're just running search ads, or if you're running performance max or shopping ads. You want negative keywords so you actually get qualified traffic seeing your ads and not just random people who are never going to buy from you, never even search for the query, and you just paid for random keywords for no apparent reason. So the next thing will be segment campaigns. So you want to separate your DSA campaigns from keyword targeted campaigns to better control your budget and analyze performance. And you can even A/B test it with your search ads and see which one works out best. So if you do one where you do all the keyword research, you do everything, you do the ad copy, and then you do one where you have a DSA and it's essentially plug and play, see which one works out best. And you can still implement both of them, and whichever one doesn't work as well, you can tweak more and leave the other one running that's making money. So it's essentially, even if you're A/B testing, if one's making money, you can figure out what to do with the one that isn't making money and just leave the one that makes money. So you're making money irregardless, which is pretty good. The next thing will be to monitor performance. So you want to regularly check the search terms report to see what queries are triggering your ads. So this helps you refine your targeting and ad text. Also, you want to leverage page feeds. So use page feeds to have more control over which pages are used for your DSAs. This is useful for promoting specific products or seasonal offers, like I went back to for like a Christmas sale or something like that. So you want to use page feeds for times like that when you have specific sales on. And then you want to combine it with remarketing. So, what is remarketing? Is essentially just marketing back to people who maybe went on your website, know who you are, but they didn't convert the first time. So, use DSA's remarketing list to retarget users who have already visited your site, making your ads more relevant and effective. So these are some implementation steps, sorry. So set up your dynamic search ad. So you want to go into your Google account, create a new Google campaign and choose a campaign goal like sales or leads. Next, select search in the campaign search type because it is a search ad, is a type of search ad. You want to choose dynamic search ads as a campaign subtype. Enter domain and language. So provide your website domain and select the language. Next will be select the targeting source, so choose whether to target all web pages, specific categories, or use a page feed. Next will be to create the ad text. So write your ad description lines, set up your negative keywords, and then launch. And that is how you set up a dynamic search ad. It's not rocket science, it's pretty easy, and Google does most of the work for you. That's why it's so good. And it also creates tailored headlines based on the search queries of the customer or the potential customer, shall I say. So it's incredibly relevant in terms of the search terms, but honestly, it depends on how good Google wants to be that day. So I would still rely on doing it yourself and then A/B testing which one's best between a dynamic search ad and your own search ad that you create yourself. So, in conclusion, dynamic search ads are a helpful tool in Google Ads, especially for advertisers with large and changing websites. So, by automatically changing relevant ads based on your website content, DSAs can help you get more traffic, save time managing ads, and improve your campaign performance. By following best practices and regularly checking your campaigns, you can get the most out of your DSAs and achieve great results for your business. So I hope this helped a lot, and I hope if you guys implement DSAs, then jobs are good, and if you start profiting from it, that is what I'm here for. That's been my time. You guys take care.